app. There's a little adjunct there, instruments, which is for things like profiling your app and things like that, memory usage, those kind of things. But you're really always inside Xcode 5, which is really nice because, you know, when you're debugging, you're usually editing your code at the same time, back and forth, back and forth. You're going to different apps and all that would be a pain in the neck. And they've really done a good job of arranging the screen space so that it's sharing between all these different tasks that you need to do. So that's the primary tool, Xcode 5. You should all, right after this class, if you want, go to the Mac App Store, not the App Store on your iOS device, the Mac App Store on your Mac, and download this. It's free. It's available. Came out last Friday, and you can download it, install it, and start playing around with it. Some of you might have already used Xcode, like in CS 106. Raise your hand if you've used Xcode before for anything. Okay, so 2/3 or more, 3/4 of you. So you're going to be used to it. You're just going to start using Xcode now to develop for iOS. All right. There's a new language for you to learn, Objective-C. It's kind of a funny looking language. Okay, it's got square brackets and colons, no parentheses on message calls, which is kind of weird for people who are coming from Java or C++ or whatever. The arguments are not put in parentheses or whatever. And I'm going to show you all about Objective-C. I don't expect you to know anything about it coming in. And if you know Java and C++, which you should if you've taken CS 106A and B, then Objective-C is not going to be a big leap for you. It's a little bit different language. It's a little more fast and loose than Java, for example, and it's a little more kind of simple and elegant than C++ when it comes to the object-oriented stuff. So I think you'll like it. Some of you who are very correct programming kind of thing, you love Java, might find Objective-C a little Wild West for you, but you'll get over it. Frameworks, obviously any big system like this groups all of its objects into libraries, essentially. We call them frameworks in iOS. So there's dozens of frameworks in iOS. The two main ones we're going to look at the beginning of the course are Foundation. That's where all that core services stuff is, like arrays and dictionaries and all that. And then UIKit. Okay, that's where buttons and sliders and all those things are. So those are the two main ones. But there's a whole bunch of other ones, like you see the core data